Um, this movie really wasn't good. They had wrestling be like a huge plot point for some reason, and it's a reason a lot of them get stuck in this situation. Um, one girl loses a wrestling match, so her boyfriend tries to get her confidence up and shows her a better way to take out her opponents, which helps her kill one of the people later in the movie while she remembers what he told her to do. And then another thing with him, because he's also a wrestler, is a guy kind of cheats and like I think he pinches his back or something while they're wrestling, and to show him that there's like no hard feelings, he invites him to a party. He declines, and his friend takes the party invite, and then they all go to the party later, like no hesitation, which makes no sense because he didn't even want to go to the party. But yeah, they go to the party. He gets in a fight with the dude that literally said they had no hard feelings. He gets hit in the head with a bottle, and the scene just kind of ends. It's a very weird cut. Then they miss their train, so they get put on this other train that's full of psychopathic killers that they I think they're trying to make you sympathize, or maybe it's just weird logic, but their reason for dismembering and murdering all these people as well, they help sick people. Because later we see a little kid that's missing an eye. He has one of the victims that got murdered earlier in the movie eye. But they put these people through a lot of pain. They'll rip their arms off, rip parts of their body off, and just, do stuff to torment them. But they're like, oh yeah, we're doing it for the greater good. Yet half the people, while they're just torturing them, are still alive. It's crazy. Very dumb logic. But anyways, the whole thing happens is because they start randomly playing Truth or Dare, and one dude tells other dude to get naked and run across the whole train, and then he stumbles on a part where they hide all the bodies and he gets killed. But he doesn't get killed. He gets impaled through the shoulder and he passes out. And I thought that was his death scene. But no, he's still alive later in the movie. He's still alive after he's missing half his skin, missing an eyeball, missing half his face, until his friend kills him with an axe because his girlfriend can't do it. Because he wants to be put out of his misery. And there's these two creepy little perverts that are also killers and a part of this whole thing that kind of stare at women creepily. And then later in the movie, when someone does the exact same thing they beat the shit out of him. It's one of the friends. He sees a hole in the wall, so he just goes and watches this girl shower, and they're like, naughty, naughty, and then they just beat the absolute shit out of him with brass knuckles and shit. So you think maybe they're not as bad, even though they clearly were pervy, just for them later to rape people. And I honestly don't remember half the people that died. I don't even remember if all the killers died. One of them got set on fire. One of them got killed because of the stupid wrestling thing. One dude got his throat slit when he tried to rape the main character. I don't remember if the other rapist got killed, though, because this movie was just really boring. The actor for Bullseye is in this movie, in the Daredevil show. He plays one of the characters. He has nipple piercings, and he gets called a freak. He also has a tattoo, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the nipple piercings, because the dude that calls him a freak also has a tattoo, so I don't think it would make sense for him to make fun of his tattoo if he has one. But yeah, the nipple piercings don't really come into play just later. He punches one of his kidnappers and they tear it off. And that's it. It's weird to add that. It's a very odd movie. It just really wasn't good at all. But, yeah, she survives or something. It took me like 3 days to review this movie because I really didn't want to. It was just a really boring movie, but I do have this theme that I review all movies as long as I finish them and as long as there's enough to talk about. And there was a little bit to talk about in this movie. And it's also just so for entertainment purposes and more stuff to upload. Plus, if I ever randomly think about this movie, though I doubt it, I can look through my movie review playlist and find it. And that is a big reason why I do movie reviews. I mainly do it for like my own purpose, but I do it so I have every movie that I've seen. Obviously, it's not going to be every movie because there's probably going to be movies that I sort of remember from when I was a kid that I don't remember the names of. But I do these movie reviews so I can always know the movies that I've seen and just have a big playlist to look through all the movies I've ever seen. But yeah, this movie's pretty trashy. There's a bunch of no-name killers that only one of them really talks besides the perverts. Well, she's one of the girls that leads them to the train in the first place. Because she's the only one that speaks English, and they only do this to tourists because there's other people on the train that they don't do it to. And they don't do it to them because they speak the same language as them and they live in the same place they do. It's very weird. They're so righteous, why don't they do it to those people too? Why just tourists? Don't you want to save these people's lives? But yeah, she speaks English, so she speaks to one of the conductors or whatever. And that gets them to get on the train, which ends most of their lives. It's a very crappy movie that I would never rewatch at all. Not good.